Hello crafty friends, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. I've got this little bunny frame that I picked up and I am going to make it really cute. And I want you to notice that what I noticed is it's only got the three metal pieces. If you could get one that's four, I think that'd be better. I didn't realize this until I got going on it, that it's kind of nice to be able to cover the two, but I'm not sure if a person can find them with the four. So here I am, I'm covering two, and it makes it a nice, thicker piece, and it worked out really nice. And then when I got to the single piece, you'll see I'll talk to you about the little problems I had. So I'm just showing as I get over, the little areas where it's got another piece of metal to connect it together. You just keep going. Now here I am, I'm going to start doing that on that single piece, and as I got going, so I wanted to just kind of do it tightly like I did the other area, and then I noticed that there's gaps in it, and so I tried to not have it so tight and went with more loose. And if I could kind of explain, I'd put glue inside and then I would push up so the bottom part would hold, onto the wiring. And it just took me a little longer just because I had to keep stopping and doing that. And that's why if you could get one that had four, I think it'd work really better, really nice, but make it work for you. And I could have wrapped these with my, just like I did with all of this, but I decided to just run it along and just see this technique, how it worked. And I used the hot glue, and everything did stick really nice to the metal. That's the one good thing about this the string rope. All right, here we go. And then just go on until you get to the end. And then I wanted to use some buffalo check fabric and put it on the back. And once you've got things kind of eyeballed and figured out the size, again, I just did the same thing with the hot glue and gluing the fabric down. And then when I was done with that, I trimmed it along and made sure everything looked really nice and clean. My daughter actually wanted this bunny, so I did it, to her specifications. And she liked the brown. In my last video, I had the egg, and so I used that lighter rope, which I thought would look really cute too. So now things are ready to go as far as everything on the bunny. And I'm just going to make a messy bow. And it's not a very big messy bow, but just some coordinating things. I'm using that fabric and then more burlap just to kind of coordinate the things together. And then with a messy bow, you just gather it in the middle and tie it. The reason I went with the messy bow is because I knew I wanted to put a flower in the middle. And a regular bow would work, but the messy bow really made it really cute. Attach that with your hot glue and hold in place until it's nice and dry or pretty solid. And then I had this kind of a peach colored, and she wanted a pink. So I'm a demonstrator and I sell Stampin' Up! Products, and so I have a lot of inks and things, and these little brushes come in a pack of 3 from Stampin' Up! And then this is called Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just adding some color onto the brush and then onto the flower. And just to let you know, I have seen these little brushes at Dollar Tree. Sometimes you'll see them in the makeup section. But they're just so nice to use. It just gives such a nice, soft, subtle, look of color. And I went through just showing you each and every petal to add some of that pink. And I was going to leave that back green part off, but then I noticed it really didn't have much, structure to the flower. It wanted to kind of flatten out, so I added it back in there. Okay, there it is. I love how this turned out. I think the brown and the pink is really, really cute. And I'm pretty sure Paige is going to like this too. Maybe I'll have to make one for Christine, my other daughter. What you think? Do you like how it turned out? Let's go on to the second DIY. This is one of those little palettes. I think I saw it at Walmart maybe. I did not buy this. It was given to me. And so I kind of knew what I wanted to do right off the bat, and so I got out my Waverly plaster, and I'm just going to lighten this board up, and yet you can still see the wood green underneath. And I had this little truck that I kind of cut down with my scroll saw. There was like something in the back. I don't know if it was eggs or what, but anyway, I did paint that with the pool color, and then I wanted to keep the brown in there, so I went with the truffle color. And just take your time and have some fun with this. So we got both tires painted. And while everything was still a little bit wet, I cleaned off my brush, so it was kind of a dry brushing over the entire thing. I have my Sharpie, which I love for this kind of lettering stuff, and just going to put Hello Spring, and I went over it with the black acrylic paint. Using the back of my paintbrush, I'm making little dots on each end of the letters, and that just kind of dresses it up a little bit. Now I was looking at it too, and I thought I wanted to pull in some pink. And so I got in my little stash, and I have these little booklets that you'll see ahead. First, I'm going to do some line work. And it's just put it in wherever you think. And this is not a Sharpie, but it's something similar to that. The line is very, very thin. Just kind of adds to it. Now these are the little books I was telling you about. I do offer them on Etsy if you're interested. I don't think they're that expensive, but I did pick out a pink that I liked and decided to put it behind each of the tires, the wheels, and then put it in the window too. So just kind of eyeball and cut and, just kind of go along and do your best on fitting it so it doesn't poke out of the sides, but everything's all nicely covered, and just use a little bit of that glue to adhere it down. And if it didn't stick super real great, it's okay, because this is going to get glued down to that sign. I'm using good old Aleene's tacky glue, and that will stick really well. I'm kind of loving how this popped out really nice at this point, and now I'm going to put some flowers in it and also some greens. I just kind of took, a variety and kind of plucked them apart glued them down, and then again with the greens, trying to just get it all small, the pieces small. And that adds a little color in there as well. Look at that. Isn't that just cute? I don't know. Besides that bunny, I'm thinking this is probably my favorite one of the day. What do you guys think? Stay tuned. We've got more though. You want to check it all out. All right, let's check it out. Go on to DIY number 3. Now these are just those little signs you can get at Dollar General, and then this is leftover canvas. I know I did a project where I took and removed this and just kept it. And I'm loving how you can use this canvas to put it inside. You don't even need to, paint anything. It's just thicker, and so it covers it up so nice. And so I'm going to decorate the front of this canvas. And like I said before, I do sell these stamps, and I am just getting out some of my supplies, and I'm going to make a little scene with this Happy Hedgehog set. And I'm using like a gray, so it's not so harsh. And just matching that up because I didn't quite get it all, and it seemed to work pretty good. And first I'm going to stamp out all the images, and then I'm going to color them in. And what I use to color them in is they're called blends. And I'm using a variety of colors. I'm trying to make a little bluebird. And then I'm just going to use various colors from those Stampin' Up! Blends. And if you decide you want, something, just check out stampinup.com, and if you could put my information in there, then the sales would go to me. Otherwise, it probably would work with whatever you had on hand. There's a lot of these type of markers. They just clean up with water, and a lot of things work well with this kind of thing. Even paints would work if you wanted to really take your time and do a good job. Very relaxing and fun. Just another way to use what you have, if you make stamps, do the cards, you can make decor with them as well. I also was considering at this point, when I got done with all the coloring, I was going to take those little brushes and maybe add a little color, but I opted not to. A person could add a little blue at the top. You could do a little green hue at the bottom, just to add a little color, just to think about other ways to use your tools. And I just put a little, I used my Sharpie to make it black, but I just want to give a little light to that cute little bird's eye. Had that Aleene's glue out, so I went ahead and just put a nice amount on the bottom. And all I had to do was pop it in and press it into place. And here's a little cutie for your tiered tray or whatever kind of decor. If a person wanted to add some wording, you could stamp that onto an additional piece of paper and just kind of put it in there, glue it down to add something cute to say. That little birdie is ready for spring. All right, last but not least, let's look at the last DIY number 4. Now I pick these up whenever I see them. I always got something cute in store for these little jars. So the first thing I want to do is just make the entire thing white. I do have an old video that I had made a stencil and made it into a jelly jar. This time I'm going to use this cute These are those silk screen stencils, and I think I'm just going to have to invest in some of those silk screen paints because I'm either finding it's either too thick or too thin. It did turn out pretty good, but I don't think it's supposed to be a little more detailed than this. And when I did this in yellow, I was like, I want to see the yellow a little better. So I started out with just doing highlights. The happy looked fine, but I didn't care for the bee. So I went back over the bee and just outlined the entire word bee. This is how you go. You just start and usually you end up doing something different. And then I just wanted to put a ribbon on it and went with, just a very simple, messy bow with a bow. Just using what colors that you're using from your stash, and there it is. Kind of fun and bright, something for spring. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do appreciate you watching and subscribing. Please remember to like my channel. It has been growing and I'm so appreciative of that. Thank you, my friends. Until next time. Bye-bye.